I'm delighted to have you all here today. Some back for the second and third times. Nice to see you. Now, I'm not sure how to do this. Would you all like to come up and then whoever's speaking, I'm presuming the person who's herding the that Andrew. Yes. So have Renee, Beck, Nathan, Wendy, Bronwyn's not here. Who's starting? Andrew introducing. Okay.
Well, firstly, thank you very much for inviting us today, and for Wendy who organised this, thank you very much. And just so you know, Wendy Anderson is she's another engagement, so she's not going to share today as she shared last time, so you'll be bored with what she has to say. It's just great. So today I've got three of my chaplains here who are in, I've got to get this right, Applecross, Ardross and Brentwood primary schools. And so Beck's in Applecross, Nathan's in Ardross, and Renee is brand new into Brentwood primary school. So they're just going to share a little bit about what they do in chaplaincy, just to give you guys an idea of what they're doing in your local community. And so I'm going to let them share and then I'll wrap up afterwards. But again, thank you very much for having us. So we'll do it alphabetically. Across primary school, here's Beck.
They're both B's, so I don't know how that's going to work. Good morning. Thanks for having us here this morning. My name is Beck and I'm across the road at Applecross Primary School. And I've met Ruth a couple of times as she's been across to the school and introduced herself. But it's great to be able to come here and just share a bit about what we do in chaplaincy and just acknowledge you for your support and thank you for your support, because we certainly do appreciate it, certainly from a council perspective, from a money perspective, but also we know that you're praying for us, and that makes a huge difference too, to be in the school knowing that there's people praying and encouraging us in what we're doing. So thank you for that, and please don't stop doing that, because that makes a big impact in what we're doing as well. But to just give you a bit of an idea of, for me, what I do in the school, I do a lot of stuff in teaching kids social and emotional skills. So we live in quite a complex society now, and it's a school responsibility these days to train kids not only academically but in social and emotional skills, to develop that aspect of them as well, and to help them become functioning adults when they grow up and be valued members of society. So I do a lot of work in various programs that we run in the school, developing that. And with little kids, there's always an array of social issues that they have to learn skills to interact with their peers. And some of us, I always explain it to kids who are struggling with social things, that they may not get along with other kids, or they have a few hiccups and there's fights and stuff, that some of us are born with a natural ability to play sports and we're really good at it innately, and others of us aren't so good, and lots of practice and lots of training makes us better. So I explain to the kids, with some of the social situations, with getting along with peers and interacting, they're just skills that we've got to learn like any other skill in life. And so do a lot of training with that. We do a lot of values education. We do a lot of teaching kids about how to handle emotions, how to express emotions, and then appropriate ways to deal with those emotions. As well as an array of student leadership stuff and supporting not only students but staff and parents as well. I'm trying to think what else you might be interested in knowing what I do. The main aspect, I had a teacher talking to me about a student in their class who's a Year 2 student who's having quite significant social problems, where he's actually getting into trouble almost regularly at a lunch break and is being separated. And I was talking to this teacher, not only helping the student but giving the teacher some strategies on how to help that kid. And this teacher really wants to help this student, but the comment that she made, which I hear quite regularly, is that I really want to be able to do more, but I just don't have the time. Because unfortunately for teachers, as much as they care for their students, their time is so consumed by the pressure of getting the academic right, getting as much as they can into the day. And that's where it's great to have a chaplain in the school because I've got the time to be able to sit with that student and help them work through the problems that the teacher doesn't have. So it's such a valuable part of the school. And I'm fortunate to come across that. The school community and the school staff see it as such a valuable program to have. So thank you again for your support, and I'll pass over to one of these guys.
Good morning, I'm Nathan, and I started Ardros Primary 51 weeks ago. So next week is my year mark, and I filled a gap at the school there, which worked out pretty good for them and really good for me. I love Ardros, it's a great school to be at. It's quite an efficient school, and there's high expectations for the students, which get met regularly. It's a very integrated school, there's a lot going on. Every lunchtime there's clubs. The students, for example, competed recently in a Robo Cup. So Year 6 students designed and programmed robots, which competed against robots from other schools, and I've got no idea how it works, but that's a bit of a slice of what the school's about. In terms of chaplaincy, it's very much a filling of the gaps at Ardros, in that there's a lot of great staff and a lot of great things going on, but there's always going to be children who don't quite have a listening ear, and so I find most of my time is just being available for students. Probably chat with about 10, 15 students per day, either informally or formally, on a number of issues, like ranging from unfair play in the playgrounds, parental separation, grief, loss, just general confusion in life. And I never walk into those conversations assuming I'll solve anything, but I think listening has been a great thing for me to learn and a great thing to offer those students. I want to reflect a bit on the call to worship that Ruth read out. And I think it sums up my time at Ardros in the last 51 weeks perfectly. It says, "The smiles and laughter of children at play, the exuberance of young people invite us to worship God, who wishes us to enjoy life to the full. And the struggle of persons who are sick or enduring life's trials invite us to worship God, whose way is compassion and wholeness." And that's something I've really found really fulfilling in my work, is that on the one hand is the celebration, and on the other side there's almost a sense of walking with grief. So I never quite know which one it's going to be each day, whether I'm going to be rejoicing with those who are rejoicing or mourning with those who are mourning, but I feel pretty privileged to be at Ardros. I'll just finish with one, I guess, little snippet from the last few months. Outside my chaplaincy work, I'm a community artist, and the school commissioned me to design and paint a mural with the children. It was a mural that reflects the 6 Noongar seasons. The school has a great Indigenous program woven through all parts of the curriculum, and so we designed a mural that reflects the 6 Noongar seasons. And there's a small number of Indigenous students at the school, and so Friday was the final day of the mural. And I like to work exclusively with the kids who have Indigenous heritage, helping them connect with part of their tradition and part of their culture. And I got quite a buzz from that because I'm not Indigenous myself, but I do relate strongly to the looking at the seasons. And it was quite a privilege. I'll look back on that in years to come with those 8 students, I think it was. It was quite a privilege for me. And I like to think it was a mapping for them of their history, their present and their future life. So thanks for your support, thanks for keeping Chaplaincy at Ardros going. And again, it's the prayer that I think we value the most. I'll pass you on to Renee. Thanks, guys.
Good morning. My name's Renee, and I started at Brentwood Primary just 5 weeks ago, so very new to chaplaincy. Feel that God's had that calling on my life for quite a few years, and then in His timing, the right school's come up, and it's been very purposed being positioned there. Coming to a beautiful school with a beautiful staff and 300 and something children whose names I'm desperately trying to learn. So it's all about relationship building at the moment, just getting to know the kids and the teachers and the parents, and a sense of what community they have there already. But like Nathan just said, I read those words as well and felt that that was a real call to chaplaincy. It is coming along the good times and the people that are in distress as well. I guess my heart is to be with those who are on the periphery, and just in 5 weeks, it's amazing how the kids that have stood out on the periphery already, and having that chaplaincy hat on, people that have just come forward who perhaps don't know me at all, but with that chaplaincy hat have felt they can share things very quickly, and I've been opened up into their lives very quickly around some pretty heavy issues. So yeah, it's just coming alongside. I think chaplaincy is coming alongside people and walking with them and being able to shine that light of Jesus into their lives that they might not have had otherwise, or just somebody that can just listen and be with them. Just recently I was asked to come alongside a teacher who's really struggling with adult children with mental health problems. So just to be an extra set of hands in the classroom for them, and just a little bit of support where they perhaps wouldn't otherwise be coping, working full time with everything else going on in their life. And some kids who've just got issues going on in their life, who just need to stay motivated in the classroom, so going in and out of the classrooms with them and working alongside them, just keeping them on track. Other than that, in the playground at recess and lunch times, with some really great resources that we have as chaplains, some balls that you can throw around and get the kids to ask questions to each other, and I'm getting to learn their names that way. Yeah, and there's a wonderful program at Brentwood at the moment that is for 0 to 4, children who are aged from 0 to 4 on Friday mornings, to encourage them to come to the school and then stay at the school. And I've been assisting with that as well, going in and getting to know the mums and the kids coming into the school next year, which has been a real privilege. So it's wonderful. I've been working at my church for the last year, and that was really God's timing and being grounded there, and then coming out alone into chaplaincy, into the world again. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to know that people are always praying for us, that we're not alone. I think Andrew or somebody at our youth care training had said to me, God plus one is a majority. We're in the schools, we are alone some of the time. Some teachers and parents have made known that they're Christians, but a lot of the time you do feel that we're out there as well, and so it's wonderful to know that the church is behind us praying for us. So thank you.
So as you all can see, these guys make my job very easy. Managing the chaplains in this area is a real privilege to me. And just as I was thinking today, just sitting there, and I just thought, Youth Care's mission statement is expressing the love and presence of Christ in our school communities. And I don't know about you, but at times in my life I've been interrupted or overwhelmed by the presence of God. Those times when you need an arm of peace around you, or a comforting arm, or even just those times when you just sit somewhere and something just hits you that is so deeply godly. And that's what these guys do every day that they're in the schools. I believe God's presence is already there, very much so. He's at work, drawing people to himself, drawing people, creation to rightness, back to his intention. But these guys actually get to express an intentional presence of God and love of God in everything they do. And it might seem at times for them especially, it might seem an insignificant act to sit with a child or a teacher or a parent who's facing whatever they're facing. But just that arm around them, although we're not allowed to hug kids, just remind us of my chaplains. But it's just that moment where the presence of God comes to the fore, and that person may not recognise it as God's presence, but one day they'll look back and say, wow, God was there for me. That's our hope. And so, again, I just say thank you very much to all of you for your support. As each one of the chaplains has expressed, it's amazing to know that even though they are physically alone in the school, they're not alone spiritually, they're not alone in a community sense. And so we thank you for your community support for our chaplains. God bless you all. Yeah, were there any questions? Tony, was it?
Yeah, I do appreciate the wonderful counseling work of Chaplaincy.
Yep.
My question is, have you had any opportunity to share the faith legally? And if you do,
Yep.
what tangible result have you seen?
I can't answer that question for my chaplains. Look, the guidelines that we work under are that we're not allowed to proselytise in the school, so we can't openly evangelise. But if a child does ask about the Christian faith or ask about God, we are free to share with them in that regard. We still walk a very careful line between the sacred and secular, or at least I hope we do, because otherwise parents and principals can make complaints. So we're invited into this environment under a certain set of guidelines that we adhere to very strongly. And so, yes, there are opportunities that come up to talk directly about God, about faith, about Christianity. How often that is, I don't know. But the main reason we're there is to pastorally care for the kids. And so in that pastoral care, our hope is that that child or that teacher or that parent will take one step closer towards God. And it may not be the step to salvation, it may not be that far, but it'll be one step closer. And so the next time they encounter God or a Christian or someone of faith, they will actually have an open heart to that person because they've encountered kindness and love in our chaplains. So does that answer your question? Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you very much. People who are regular here know that we have some connections with Ardros as well, because in our way of pastorally caring for our community that doesn't want to step inside our building, we've created the labyrinth at the other end of the church, and it's Ardros Primary School plants and Applecross Primary students planted some of them. We're delighted with that. Gosford Anglican Church puts up interesting signboards regularly. Friends of mine often repost them on Facebook, so I thought that was interesting. Yes, and I'm sure that sometimes a healing word is comfort, sometimes it's other things. So let's sing this hymn as a chaplaincy in the back of our minds.